Cleveland Clinic, Florida provides individualized treatment plans for excellent outcomes of health problems ranging from the most common to the most complex, even in cases considered untreatable by others. Cleveland Clinic, Florida. Every life deserves world-class care.
All right. Welcome to the KVJ After the Show Podcast. What's happening?
I'm looking at tape from last night of the end of the Saints game. You know, Cam Newton and Drew Brees
Yeah.
were on the field last night.
Absolutely, yeah.
And at the end of the game, neither team, big defensive stands from both sides. But,
Oh, yeah.
it was a battle, and in the end, the Saints won.
Yep.
At the end, Cam Newton doesn't even come over and say anything to Drew Brees. Drew Brees is coming towards him, and Cam bumps him with his shoulder.
Did he really?
Yeah, you got to go look at the video.
I haven't seen that part yet.
It's kind of, I was asleep, so I didn't see it. I'm glad I didn't frickin' see it last night, or I would have
been on your mind today.
I would have been so fired up, I would not have been able to go back to sleep.
You already with your hate for Cam Newton.
Oh, I'm hot pissed over here. Don't
Really?
you disrespect my quarterback, you piece of shit.
Yeah, I think they've lost 6 in a row now, and they're not going to make the playoffs realistically.
And it's exactly what they deserve.
Yeah.
And their stupid coach, he's just as much at fault for letting Cam act like that. You got to put a guy like that in his place.
Well, what do you do? I think that's kind of tough sometimes with these pro athletes.
He's a giant baby who throws fits. He's disrespectful. He's nasty. But if the coaches don't come down on him and tell him to change his behavior, he's never gonna. They're enabling this behavior out of a overgrown douchebag baby.
Yeah, I think that's kind of part of the issues, though, sometimes of what happens with professional athletics compared to college. Is that the pressure is on you, I'm going to send a message. And you can do that maybe a little bit more in college. And even in college anymore, the wins and losses are so important that some of these star athletes and their baby mentality is not punished because of what it would do to the entire team and, the chance they would have of losing a game because of it. And one extra loss per season, a lot of times for an NFL coach, is the difference between having a job and not.
If Cam Newton put as much time into watching game film as he does into picking outfits, he'd probably do a lot better.
You're right. He does seem to put a lot into that.
He's so obsessed with himself and his narcissism and his outfits and his just, look at me, I'm Cam motherfucking Newton. We don't care. You are a douche with a towel on your head and a tear rolling down your cheek. Wah. We beat you in your house, bitch.
So that just, for you, validates your hate for Cam Newton.
It solidifies what I already knew. He can't even be sportsmanlike at the end of the game.
And so for anybody who's saying to you, being like, oh, come on, he does all these great things. Look what he does for the kids. You're just today saying, suck it.
He only does great things when there's cameras there. When there's no cameras, he's a
dick. That's what Cam stands for, Camera Newton.
Camera Newton. That's all he cares about. I hate him so much, Kevin.
Well, luckily you can say your Saints beat them last night, Virginia.
Thank goodness.
Good for you.
It was a hard-fought little battle.
Yeah, I saw Drew Brees didn't have a great night.
He did not.
Okay.
He
kept
did
Michael
not.
Thomas in check.
Yeah, it was a rough game. It was tough.
Okay. You got the win, though.
Yes.
Good for you. A lot more than the Dolphins can say. How'd the Bills do over the weekend?
Josh Allen is doing great for the Bills. That's their new rookie quarterback.
Okay.
Panda is in love with him, and Panda's like, look, this is a
happy.
growth year.
Okay.
Panda realizes that they got to groom Josh, and he's very excited.
Okay.
It's a good thing to have excitement about a quarterback.
A lot of fun when you're all excited about your NFL teams.
How the Steelers doing? Because
up, down, all over the place.
I'm going to be at the game on Sunday in New Orleans.
Oh, no way.
The Steelers are in the Superdome.
I saw they're playing there.
Playing
that's
the Saints.
Great.
Yeah.
Dang, good for you, girl. That's awesome.
I know. I'm excited.
That's really cool. Yeah, they need to win. Their Steelers have been all over the place. They're just a hot mess. They're great one game, and then they lose to the worst team in the NFL the next. So. Don't know. Unpredictable. Who knows, Virginia? So is a game of football. Is Jaybird looking after Chewy right now?
I think he went home to give Chewy his shot because Chewy's on a schedule.
Oh, I got you.
Where he has to get, he's got his insulin shots that they have to give him at the same time every day.
Oh, okay. So he's taking care of Chewy. Did he say that Chewy was on the uptick, or just that he had worked out the schedule with his dad for the holidays, so he's able to go to Oregon, and that's going to be okay?
Today he's excited about going to Oregon, but yesterday he did say Chewy was feeling better, so that's good news. I saw some pictures of Chewy. I follow him on Instagram a lot.
Oh, he's got his own Instagram
well,
account, huh?
It's basically Jaybird's Instagram. It's all pictures of Chewy.
Okay. Well,
he looks better.
Good news. Yeah.
Chewy looks happy.
Oh, he's got a healthy coat going. Jason just texted me. His neighbor is having him jump his car, so he's running a little bit late. He's like, he's giving meds, and now
because when you're having automotive issues, you definitely want Jaybird to help.
Well, they must not know him well.
Yeah. That's the guy you want. Hey, you got some car problems. You look like a guy that could help out.
Was no one else available?
Well, he said, I think from the text, it looked like it happened at the light. So, like, right when we're leaving the neighborhood, there's that first light. I think she recognized him from the cul-de-sac.
Oh, she's broke down on the side of the road and he has to help?
He's like, yeah, I'm so flustered right now.
Oh, my gosh.
Yeah. It might take him a while. He's trying to figure out
I'd be like, baby, I'm going to call you AAA.
But he might be a second, so we'll see.
Okay. One question actually had to do with Chewy today that somebody had sent in. They said, has Chewy and Rufus the cat ever met each other? And if so, what was the conversation like?
No, they haven't.
They should.
Yeah, well, you think so? You think that the cat and the dog
Denny
should
doesn't seem to think that's a good idea.
I'm so afraid of moving that cat because I'm afraid the cat's going to get lost or something. But yeah, they would probably get along with each other. What's up, Bert?
So?
Somebody was asking if Rufus and Chewy have ever met, and Denny's doesn't think they have.
I think they met briefly, but it was something very fleeting. Nothing of significance.
Okay.
Yeah, they're not.
How did it go?
I would have been back earlier. Some I don't know who it was. I'm sprinting out to go run because I get nervous. So I'm running to my apartment, and I hear this woman, "Hey, I need help." I'm like, "Son of a bitch, what is going on?" She's got her car is broke down. She needs to jump. She's holding up jumper cables. I'm like, "Hold on, my dog is sick. Give me 5 minutes." Take Chewy out, give him his medicine. And then I forgot to give him his medicine because she is there wanting a charge. So I have to go back and give him his medicine after the podcast.
You didn't give him his medicine?
I took him for his walk, and he did
So you ran home and just jumped somebody's car and came back?
Pretty much. If you kind of break it down.
What are you, an errand boy?
It was, because I knew the podcast was starting. I was so, fuck this, man.
He just drove home to help his neighbor jump her car.
I don't even think it was my neighbor. I'm like, I gotta go to work, and then I'm thinking, okay, it's Christmas time. You gotta help people
It's the holidays. He's just out running around looking for
Where's
Good
your
Samaritan.
wallet? Make sure she didn't pickpocket you.
Okay, it's right here.
Okay. That seems like a scam. I need help jumping my truck. And while you're leaned over in to help her, she takes your wallet and all your stuff.
I led the charge. I was the one that had to jump it. I don't think she knew what she was doing.
Okay.
You actually did it?
I know how to charge cars. I don't want to brag.
Wow.
You do? Okay.
Or jump cars, charge cars, jump cars. That sounds so mechanical.
Charge it for you. So this crazy story, maybe kind of a warning to some of those Airbnbs. There are these two chicks in their 20s, came to Boynton Beach, got themselves a nice little place, $45 a night, where they got to stay. This one girl named Heather said she was sleeping. About 4 a.m., she wakes up and just had that feeling like somebody is watching her. So she opens her eyes, and sure enough, there's a guy just staring at her.
Oh, my gosh.
In the actual place, or is it outside looking in a window?
In the actual place. She's in her room.
Oh, hell no.
She opens her eyes because she feels like somebody's watching her, and someone is. She said, then the man gets on his hands and knees and starts crawling around the bed. I reach under my pillow to grab my phone to call 911, but my phone's dead.
Oh.
Right? That's crazy. And apparently the two chicks were in bed together. They were both too scared to move. All you're thinking, like, okay, what if he has a weapon? What if he's got friends with him? Thankfully, he didn't touch either one. But after 10 minutes, so 10 minutes this is going on, she came up with a plan to scare him off. She said, I'll move around. I'll think, oh, my gosh, they're waking up. I need to go. So they were, I guess, just
acting like they were sleeping.
He's like cuddling with them or something.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, my gosh.
So she started moving around. She said, yeah, then he slid out. He crawled on the bottom of the floor again, ended up standing up and stared at us for a while longer. Then eventually left through a sliding glass door without taking anything.
Okay, that's somebody who is, in my opinion, a murderer in the making. They are just getting started to see how far they can go, and they're going to get more brazen. That is not the first or last time he's done that.
He's going to hurt the next person he does this to.
Completely agree.
Oh, my gosh.
Yeah, that's real crazy. And then, the thing I wonder, too, is, had they legitimately left their doors unlocked, or is this something that could happen with the Airbnb where somebody's renting it out and somebody else has a key, or somebody else who stayed there before made a copy of the key, and then you come and stay not knowing that a person has stayed there before?
Remember I told you about my old apartment place where the maintenance guy had the key, and that special just ran 2 nights ago, and I finally got to see the whole thing.
Yeah.
It is absolutely horrifying. He made her, after he did unspeakable things to her, he brought her back to her apartment, and because he took her to a vacant apartment because he knew where all the vacant apartments were because he was a maintenance guy there. He brought her back to her apartment, and then he had a machete the whole time, and he sat on her toilet as he watched her shower, and he twirled the machete around in his hand, just watching her and debating on whether he should kill her or not.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, and that was the guy who had the key. So you are right, Kevin. Sometimes those Airbnbs and those maintenance places, if they got a key, you might just be careful.
Well, I would think the only way to really do it right is you would have to somehow demand that the locks be changed like every single time they have somebody, but that's
There's no way to do that.
That was a big part of
realistic.
That was a big part of the special. She wanted to get these special locks put in her apartment. Now, I remember these apartments because I lived in them. They're easy. If you kicked it in, you could break it down. So I could see why someone would want to get an extra lock pad there. They would not allow it. The company that owned the facility said, no, you can't put
extra locks because we can't get in.
And her advice to anybody now is, even if your apartment place does not allow you to do it, go ahead and do it anyway.
Do it anyway.
Yeah.
What are they going to do?
That was a local story.
Well, I would think
Is she okay?
I mean, emotionally, I don't know, but she did make it. Yeah,
She lived.
Yeah.
Well, I would think what you have to do if you have an Airbnb place. In fact, I would almost start making this. If I'm Airbnb and you have these stories that keep popping up, you have to have a digital lock that you can change the code on every single time. And that's how people get in. It's kind of like you would do a hotel or whatever, where either you swipe a card or it's a code that every time somebody is new in there, that you can even remotely, if you like, say you don't live in the city where your Airbnb property is, when somebody cashes out, everyone gets a new code every single time they check in.
But I'm wondering now, though, at places that are like apartment complexes, do maintenance people have the key, the universal key to get in anytime they want to?
I think they do.
That, to me, that's really fucked up. I don't like that at all.
I don't agree. I think that there should not be a universal key.
Maintenance
not when you have maintenance people and single girls living in these apartments.
Well, you don't know who you can trust. What if you have a maintenance person that has seen your place before, sees you have valuables, and just goes in there when he knows you're not there?
It's absolutely a messed up situation.
I don't know how they can get away with that, actually.
I don't know either. Because they should be letting you know anytime they're gaining entry into your unit. It shouldn't just be, we have free reign to come and go.
I think they say that they're going to give you a heads up, but how do you know? I mean, the case that I'm talking about, the maintenance worker was a renegade. He went on his own, and then that one girl that was down at, I forget where she was at, she just got murdered. She was doing those B&B places.
That's horrifying.
Yeah, Jen in the chat room said, we just stayed in an Airbnb in North Carolina and they had a digital lock. Yeah, I would think that's really the only way. If somebody gave me a set of keys, I'm like, I was to say, one, you've got an extra set. I maybe don't. Why do I trust you? And how do I know that the last person stayed here didn't make a copy of this and they're going to wind up and at best just steal my stuff?
Yeah.
That's the best case scenario.
I have a policy now about Airbnb. I will only do it in a big group. I'll only do it when we have a few men staying there and I know somebody's packing and I know we're going to be okay. But if it was just me and Mags, I would never do an Airbnb. I just would not feel safe.
I just watched too many of those murder specials.
There's too many specials. There's too many stories.
Yeah.
The real news story you're talking about, the girl at the Airbnb place that was in South America.
She was murdered.
She was murdered by the security guy.
That's crazy, right?
At the Airbnb. Screw that.
They have access.
That's why I like a hotel better. I like a big brand name hotel where they have security and they have things in place and cameras and.
I mean, obviously,
you're never 100% safe.
Yeah, but you get a little bit more security, I think. You feel like it at least.
Yeah, I agree. A majority of people are not going to murder you.
Right.
You just have to see or hear one story for you to be freaked out.
I'm always freaked out. Everywhere I go, I'm always like, oh, that one wants to murder me. I just always assume murder is imminent. If you live like that, it's a very edgy place to live, but it also keeps you safe.
It's not a matter of how I'm going to get murdered. It's a matter of just when.
Yeah.
Because I feel like I'm definitely going to be a murder
We're
victim.
the eternal optimists over here.
Since I was a kid, I've always foreseen me going out in a murder. I don't know why.
Well, you wind up in these kind of scenarios like, hey, would you come over here to help me jump my car? You know, those are always the kind of, that's how it all begins.
With a strange woman you don't recognize that doesn't appear to be one of your neighbors.
I did not recognize her.
Yeah. That's how it all begins. Talking about horror, Nick likes a combination of Christmas and horror. One of his favorite genres. I think the juxtaposition of joy and fear is awesome. I love Black Christmas, Silent Night, Deadly Night, and Krampus, which I think is one of the most underrated movies of all time.
Okay, Silent Night, Deadly Night. That is one that is freaky.
Is it horrifying?
Well, it's about Santa that goes out and murders people. If he wants to see something really good, there's a Tales from the Crypt episode that is about an escaped mental patient, and it's Christmas Eve, and he ends up getting a Santa Claus outfit, and he terrorizes this woman for an entire night, and she's kind of a bad woman because she kills her husband moments before. It's really, really good.
Okay.
Tales from the Crypt. It's about a murderous Santa Claus.
I will not watch that shit.
Oh, it's so good. I
That
watch
is
it.
too scary.
I watch it every holiday.
I saw today there was I think it was like a Danish movie or something like that came out about a kid who defends his home from a demented Santa. And it came out a month before Home Alone. And it was just, available only overseas. And now it's kind of starting to make a limited run.
It's almost the same kind of premise as the Tales from the Crypt episode. Only the guy's terrorizing the woman, and you see the little kid upstairs. The little kid keeps on seeing Santa. He's deranged, and he's up at the window. And she's like, Santa Claus. And he's trying to get in, and the kid actually lets the Santa Claus in. That kills the mom.
Oh, my gosh.
Whoa.
You don't have to watch it. I just told you the whole thing.
I'm not watching it.
Yeah.
That's too much for me.
It's from the 90s. If you haven't seen it now, you don't know about it, and you wouldn't watch it, or you've already seen it.
Okay. Not going to happen, huh? Got this fun little game somebody sent us here. It's called Butthurt, the game. I think it was actually the makers of Butthurt, Brandon Vale. I've actually heard about this. It's kind of like just these kind of like questions. I'm not sure how. A lot of times I don't go into the rules of it. But they're like different little questions that
like
they
risque.
Have in here. Yeah, things like that. For instance, who's the most likely to be a peeping Tom?
Oh, it's within your group?
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely Suits. Always blame the person that's not in the room.
Okay.
But if it's not Suits, I would say Jay Bird.
Definitely
because
not.
You've peeped without being up on the window.
I have walked my dog and someone had a light on and I looked up and saw them doing something weird. That's different than a peeping Tom. That's me walking my dog, looking at some shit.
But you thought it was exciting.
I did not. Don't make me out to be a pervert. Oh, yeah, and I was beaten off too, Kev. Jeez.
Well, what were you walking your dog with?
Next question.
Who is the laziest?
Oh, so this is one of those games that starts fights. I fucking hate this game. I don't like this game.
I don't think anybody's lazy.
No, we don't have a lazy show.
Who is most likely to get so drunk they puke tonight?
Ooh, amateur.
That'd
be Suits.
Suits or me.
You puke still?
Sometimes I still puke.
You got that delicate belly.
I do.
Who would smuggle drugs in their butt?
I think I'd be the only one that would go for it.
I've done that, but not in my butt.
Well, that doesn't count then. Where do you smuggle them at? In your
Really?
punani?
Yeah.
Who then used them?
Me?
What kind of drugs were they?
I don't want to talk about it.
Oh, man. Wait a minute. Hold on. You can't drop some shit like that.
When did this happen?
2 weeks
Now.
ago.
I'm holding.
I'm holding.
A few trips this. Like if I was going to be on an airplane, back before they used to have those scanner things where you stand there like this and it goes.
Oh, yeah.
Rear, rear.
Right.
Back in the day,
You were a drug mule for yourself?
yeah.
She's her own drug mule.
I don't approve, but I tell you who loves it. Pablo Escobar.
Pablo Escobar.
Pablo Escobar.
He is going to come back before the break.
He is.
Yeah, he'll be back. Him and
Okay.
Lana will be back.
Good.
Are they a combo?
They are, unfortunately. For y'all, it's a combo.
Good, because we got them some Christmas liqueur.
Good. Friday might be a good time they come on in.
Okay, all right. Sounds like a fun day. I thought that's when you're going to do all the binge eating.
It is. It's a day of sin.
So you're going to like binge. This is going to be a day of barfing as well.
You're going to be Pablo
Oh
Escobar,
my gosh, yeah.
Lana, and a competitive eater.
Pablo Escobar.
Oh, there's nothing. Oh, that's a good one, Kev. There's nothing about competitive eating on this. This is enjoy the ride. There's no time limit.
This is seductive,
I
Virginia.
thought
Yeah.
it was 1 hour.
Well,
Eat
I
as
mean,
much as you could.
hour and a half. No, it's not like
Oh, okay.
eat till you poop.
Okay.
Yeah, let's enjoy it. It's a holidays.
Yeah, he's getting ready to get on this. Let me see here. Who would survive the shortest amount of time on a deserted island? I guess that's who has the less survival skills. Kind of like thing.
Why are you looking at me? Why does my name keep coming up on all this? I hate the butt game. You think these suits can out-survive me? That's some shit there.
It's a toss-up.
Oh, fuck this. Whatever. Storms, you would die. You would complain. You would be such a
No.
diva.
Can we do a-
I would
could-
figure out. I would find somehow a source of water.
Can we do our own version of Survivor?
I would love it. I
put
would
us
love it.
on like Munyon Island?
Yeah, Jaybird versus Suits.
Singer Island. Let's do it. I don't know if I can survive Singer Island.
It is rough. Okay. Who is the most boring at sex?
I don't want to say it, but on the count of three, let's say it. 1, 2, 3.
Kevin.
I'm so sorry, Kevin.
Probably, yeah.
I
get
know,
it. Yeah.
I know you can do better,
Yeah, I could.
but do you want to do better?
I do.
Oh, he's so sad. Because it's real.
It is real hurtful.
I would like to do a little training session with Kev. Have him learn to talk dirty in the bedroom a little bit. I think that would spice things up.
So I can talk to myself.
Look,
Oh yeah, Kev.
I love your way your hair looks.
oh, you like this shit? Yeah, Kevin.
I'm going to get it in your hair.
Love that fucking hair.
Please train me on that, Owen. Wouldn't it be better with myself? Who is most talked about behind their back? Oh, damn.
It depends, I think. Mm-hmm. I think we can eliminate Suits and Denny's for sure, definitely.
Yeah, they're too peaceful and passive.
It's going to be between us three, probably Kevin because you're in charge.
Yeah, probably. And honestly, I don't listen to that kind of stuff really, so I don't.
I do. It's definitely Kevin.
Who would not last long in solitary confinement?
Ooh.
I think I'd do okay.
I think I would be okay too. I think I could do it for a little while. I mean, after a certain point, I think everybody goes crazy, but I think I could last a good 2 weeks.
Okay, I say we try this bit out. Virginia's gone for 2 weeks. Let's put her in a room.
I go first.
You go first.
Yeah, I wonder how long it would take before you started to be like, okay, I'm starting to go a little crazy. Like I need to change. And not just mildly, but you're just like, okay, I am really starting to lose my mind.
I think you would have to do the Wilson method where you trick yourself into talking to somebody, like kind of have Tom Hanks did in Castaway. After a while, you would have to activate your brain and try to get some normalcy. At least that's how I would think. I would have to trick myself into thinking, things are fine, you're talking to the wall, it's okay, he's a good guy.
Okay.
No, I would go fucking crazy. That's my rationale.
I think anybody goes crazy for a long enough time.
Could you do an island for a year by yourself? Do you think you could make that work, or would you go insane?
I think I'd be okay.
Castaway style.
Yeah, the toughest thing is I would like give me a crash course on survival skills. So I'd be able to, accommodate and get all this kind of stuff down so I know a little bit of the lay of the land and that kind of stuff. That's the thing I would hate right now. My survival skills suck. and especially with animals and all that kind of stuff, if you have snakes crawling through and
I'd be afraid. I get that mania where you can't. You shouldn't drink the ocean water, but you're so thirsty that you're like, fuck it, I'm gonna drink it anyway. Maybe it'll work.
No, you got to go get coconuts. You got to go get fruit. You got to find someplace other than the ocean water.
no, you get a water collection system. Yeah, hopefully you're in a place where it rains,
Yeah,
and then you got to find a place that will collect rainwater.
You know, Kevin's right. I mean, what if the place doesn't have coconuts, Kev? I mean, come on.
Every island, ever.
Not always. And if you do, sometimes they're deeper in the island, and you don't.
How do you get into the coconut?
Exactly.
I know how to get in the coconut.
How?
Because you just put one hole on the top and one hole on the bottom, and boom, all the water comes out.
Yeah, but how are you putting the hole in the coconut?
I can make anything out of a rock. I can make a sharp. I can make a rock into a sharp point and make it into a hammer.
Okay, who do you want to die with on that? Coconuts over here, or just nuts over here?
Coconuts or nuts?
Who would you rather die with? Because we're all going down.
Yes, we are.
And at least if he dies first, you can eat him. He's delicious.
In fact, that goes for any kind of thing. If I die first, no matter what situation it is, you guys can eat me at any point. No offense taken.
We have to eat him. What do we eat first?
I would go with my butt. I would go with my butt.
Really?
Yeah, it's got the most meat on it. My stomach's kind of gross. I think you'd get turned off by that. My ass is pretty gross too. Maybe eat my neck.
Is there a lot of meat on that thing?
I don't think there is. I don't know. I know what I'm eating with Kevin. If Kevin goes first.
The dick.
No, that's a delicacy. You want to save that for us.
Savor it.
Fine.
That's dessert.
Yes.
No, you got to go ass. Look at his meaty ass. Making my mouth water just talking about it.
I think I would try to eat Jaybird's legs.
Okay.
I think I could make it work like a
legs
chicken leg.
Yeah, that's where you want to go, legs.
Good
I want to
call.
go legs.
Good call.
Chicken legs.
That's what you'd want. Yeah. Who would not last long in prison?
Oh, I know I would run shit in Block Cell E.
I'd much rather be in solitary than in Gen Pop.
Gen Pop, you gotta.
It becomes a battle in Gen Pop.
It becomes a new way of life. You gotta change the way you are just walking and talking, baby.
You got to be tough. You got to play the game. I don't even know what the rules of the game are, but now you got to play them.
I talked to a guy the last week, and he goes in and talks, at prisons and stuff like that. And he said, after like doing what I've done like over the last couple of years, he's like, I think I could actually survive prison now. He said it's about relationships.
It is.
And that's just it. It's not even necessarily being the toughest. It's just about relationships and, getting people to like you and that kind of stuff.
I think, Suits is the first to die in prison, and Denny's is the one that absolutely soars in the system.
Master. I think Denny's would do great in there.
He's great at building relationships. He'd get the hardest criminals on his side.
You're right.
Mm-hmm.
He's done that here in the building with all these criminals.
If we went together, we would probably have to do like a combo thing. He'd have to probably trick me out, unfortunately.
You'd be the bitch.
I think I'd have to be. I think he'd have to be the sensible pimp.
Interesting.
Next question is, who masturbates the most?
It's a tricky question. Suits is in his prime He's in his prime masturbation years.
He's jerking off right now.
Get in here, Suits.
Yeah, get in here so we can make you feel weird again. Poor guy. He's going to ask the worst.
Well, we're just guessing. There's no way for us to know unless we speak to the man.
You might be surprised to know, I actually don't do it a lot. I only do it like once or twice a week.
Wow. Okay.
Like the mood will strike, but other than that, I'm not like...
You're not getting it off every night.
No, I definitely cannot compete with some of the other people on this show, I think.
Oh.
Yeah. What about you, Kev?
I don't know. Probably a little bit more than that. I'm so boring anymore. Like, I do it now because my buddies keep telling me, like, going, yeah, his doctor told me, he's like, yeah, you got to, like, it's better for your ass cancer. So I do it out of, like, fear now. I don't even do it. That's so awful. Like, I don't even do it because it's, like, sexier because I'm in the mood. I'm like, gosh, I know. I knew
even your masturbation is
awful. Yeah.
Dude, what's going on?
How did you make masturbation suck?
I did. I made jerking off awful. It's like a chore.
It's America's pastime. That's planet Earth's
now it's
pastime.
just a chore. It's like I don't get ass cancer.
Jerking off?
Yeah.
Wow.
It's terrible. Yeah.
I'm very sad for you.
Maybe, so it's like whenever I think of that, but I kind of like have a health regimen, a routine that I try to stay in. So, I'll probably get 3 to 4 times a week, probably for that.
Bird.
But,
Honestly,
but it's very clinical. It's just, you're right. It's not great.
mine's definitely not clinical at all. It's nothing to do with the ass cancer. But I would say I would probably a little once a day, but there's some times where I don't do it every day. So probably I would say 6.5 per week to be once a day about.
Wow.
Yeah, you probably win then.
I think I win. Yeah.
What if you're seeing somebody?
We'll get him a trophy.
It all depends.
Yeah.
It all depends. You think you're so slick over here. She thinks she's so good. She's so nice.
I'm having a conversation.
We're working on your masturbation trophy, too.
I would really appreciate that. It's the recognition that really
You're
means
doing the
something.
work, so you deserve the award.
Can you get a trophy with a dick in a hand?
I'm sure of it.
We can get anything. I know a trophy guy.
Do you not? You don't delve that much, huh? You're not a
No.
solo musician.
I just don't have time. That to me seems like a
That's the worst excuse ever. Everyone's got 5 minutes to break one off. I'm
that seems
sorry.
like a luxury.
All right. Okay. I'm
There's always a kid around, and I mean that's weird.
Okay.
Locking eyes with your kid.
Yeah, that's odd. Who's most likely to raise a child that will grow up to be an asshole? It's a fun little question.
I don't want to answer that.
Who is most likely to die alone?
I'll answer that one.
Yeah.
I hope.
I hope.
I know. Thank you for making
It's a goal.
Thank you for making it seem like I am so lonely and I got nowhere to go for Christmas. People think I'm such a fucking charity case.
Well, you're going to Oregon for Christmas, right?
Well, I'm not. No, I'm spending my time with my family for Christmas. I'm going to Oregon the next day.
Okay, gotcha.
Who has the biggest ego? It's not a question I have in there. I don't know.
I notice how we're not answering some of these questions. Some of them are a little painful.
Yeah.
Brush
There's
over,
nothing-
brush over, brush
Yeah, there's
over.
nothing right on that one. Yeah, I don't know. I think everybody actually doesn't really have that big of an ego. This isn't one of those shows, I think, that really has that too much.
Not to say ego moments can't happen. I think everyone's got an ego to a
Yeah.
certain extent, no matter who you are.
Yeah, but I don't even know how you would measure that one. So I don't know. It's not like, there's a hands-down winner.
And it depends. Situational.
Agreed.
Yeah. Anyway, the name of that game is Butthurt. Appreciate the creators for sending us that. That's what that's all about.
Or it's also called Lose Your Friends.
Yeah.
I could totally see that
They
game.
should call it Drink Then Fight.
Yeah, people drink. I can see couples playing that game, and there's that one couple that always gets awkward and fights in front of other people. By the way, it happens at every event.
Yeah, could you imagine if you were playing this game and people were drinking? And I mean, we're pretty close and we're used to answering awkward questions about each other, and you're not. And I mean, how many fights would this game cause?
The last 5 or 6 events, there has been a couple drinking too much, and they start off playing by just, and then it ends with, no, I don't do that.
Stop it!
Yeah, it's a fucking drunk fight. Denny's was in the middle of the most uncomfortable one at Blue Martini. It was so awful, I had to walk away. Like, oh, gosh.
Terrible.
They're fighting, and then they're asking Denny's to pick a side.
Denny's don't pick sides.
It was terrible.
Oh, man. This is a nice little couple. It's getting along. Chelsea said, hey, 2 of your loyal KVJ listeners just got engaged. I'd love if you congratulate them. Congrats to Sam and Christian.
Sam and Christian.
Love your lit fam.
Cute.
There you go. All right. Very nice. All right. Well, thank you very much for locking in here for Tuesday. You guys enjoy the rest of your day. We will see you back here tomorrow. Goodbye.
Cleveland Clinic, Florida provides individualized treatment plans for excellent outcomes of health problems ranging from the most common to the most complex, even in cases considered untreatable by others. Cleveland Clinic, Florida. Every life deserves world-class care.